have just learned that in the state of Ohio, NBC News has projected that President Obama has won the state of Ohio. President Obama has been reelected for a second term.
He did it.
With this call in Ohio, it is a done deal. President Barack Obama wins a second term as 44th president of the United States. Let the record show that it is 12 minutes past 11 p.m. on the East Coast. Ohio put him over the top. Chris Matthews.
He didn't need the South. It's so interesting. He may well win all three of those states, but he didn't need them. This is a very, and I said this at the beginning of the night, the geography of this election is very powerful. And I've watched some of the ugly stuff in this campaign along the ethnic and racial lines perpetrated by people like Donald Trump and Sununu and the rest of them, and around the edges by the candidate himself, Mitt Romney, talking about welfare and all the rest of it. And what's his name? The former Speaker of the House, whose name eludes me right now. Newt Gingrich talking about food stamps and all that. I have to call it crapola. All that stuff didn't have an effect in the North, apparently. We'll see if it's had an effect in the South. But he's won it without the South.
With Florida still too close to call, with Virginia still too close to call, with Colorado still too close to call, with Nevada still too early to call, President Obama has won re-election tonight. These shots are live footage of his headquarters in Chicago. Ed Schultz?
This is a big night for wage earners in this country. I think the history books will show that President Obama and his team ran a flawless campaign. Not once did he ever have to backtrack on what he said or what they meant. Clearly well-defined. Early in this campaign, they went after Mitt Romney to define him. He stuck with the middle-class theme and ran on his record. He ran on his record of accomplishing a generational shift in health care, reviving this economy with 32 months of private sector job growth, being handed something that no other president had been handed in 70 years in the economy, protecting the big three, even when he told the Republicans, let's go big, and they wouldn't do it. In the face of obstruction, this president is going to go down in history as one of the great ones because of all the obstruction and all of the social things that he had to face and all of the comments coming from the Tea Party. President Obama wins re-election, I think, on his record tonight, sticking up for American workers. If you look at the map, you will see where unions put their resources is exactly where the president won tonight. He won the Rust Belt, and he won where he had to win. A flawless campaign.
I think it's a big night for the country when we see, against all odds, the obstruction and the venom. I mean, you have this man, the President of the United States, birth being questioned, whether he was even a citizen of the country. Yet not one time did he bow to the rancor. Not one time did he feed into the poison and ugliness. He maintained the dignity of the office, and he performed against obstructionists in the House and in the Senate. I think that he showed America a better way to lead. He brought us back not only from the brink of economic disaster, he brought us back from the ugliness that politics had become. We've now gone back from the cesspool to where we can engage in some political dialogue with dignity. America won tonight, right? Re-electing President Obama against this rancor and this atmosphere brought out the best in America. We won tonight, and I think that it's a great night for the country.
Lawrence O'Donnell?
I'm just looking at that crowd in Chicago. I was there 4 years ago when this happened, and I, for one, just want to see what they're experiencing for a night.
Out there.
Oh, yeah?
She took a plane out there on a chance he'd win.
They did not plan a giant outdoor event of the same scale that they did in Grant Park in 2008, but as you can tell, it's not exactly somebody's living room.
Very emotional for a lot of people.
I want to bring in Steve Schmidt. Steve Schmidt, you ran the campaign. You were the senior strategist for the campaign against Barack Obama in 2008 in the general election with McCain and Palin. Looking at this night in Chicago and reflecting on this result, what do you think? What do you think the importance of this is for the country?
Big night, obviously, for the president. And every time there's an election and we turn the page and we elect or re-elect a new president, it's a new beginning, and it's an opportunity to do things better, to do right by the American people, to govern the country in a way that creates prosperity, builds a stronger America. So congratulations to President Obama, his team tonight. The difference, I think, is that in the Republican Party, I think this victory will set off a civil war inside the Republican Party. There's going to be a lot of soul searching. This was a winnable election. The president was vulnerable. They ran a flawless campaign, a brilliant campaign. I agree, as Ed pointed out. Absent the president's debate performance in that first debate, really a flawless campaign. And so when you look at these losses in the Senate seats, you look at the fact that this race is called at 11:15 in the East. There's going to be a lot of soul searching, and I think a lot of fighting inside the Republican Party in the months ahead.